The first time you access your D2L gradebook, you will land on the Setup Wizard page. This page gives you a summary of the default gradebook settings. It is important to take time to plan how you want to set up your gradebook before proceeding with the wizard. If you have not already done so, you may want to take this time to visit the overview lesson. If you have planned on how you want to set up your gradebook, you can continue by scrolling down on the page and clicking the Start button. This will take you to the first step of the wizard, where you will be asked about your gradebook mode. It is important to realize that the gradebook is made up of categories and items. The categories are containers holding gradebook items. The gradebook items are the actual assignments which have grades applied to them. In a weighted gradebook mode, categories can be weighted to have a higher impact on the student's overall grade. Grade items can also be weighted within each category. In a points gradebook mode, 1 point is equal to 1 point. So an item's effect on the overall grade is determined by its point value in relation to the overall available points in the course. You can also apply a formula-based gradebook. This can be used in a variety of ways to manipulate grade items and categories. For this example, we will be using a weighted gradebook. Then you can click Continue. On the second step of the wizard, it will ask you if you want to release a calculated final grade or an adjusted final grade. It does give a brief explanation below each one. The calculated final grade will be determined by the system. An adjusted final grade is something where you go in and adjust the grades for the students. It is most common to use the calculated final grade. After selecting this, you can click Continue again. Here we have the grade calculations. You can choose for ungraded items to drop them so that they do not impact the student's grades, or to treat them as zeros. You can also select at this point if you want to keep the grades, the final grades, automatically updated. Dropping ungraded items and keeping the final grade updated, which are the default settings, are also the most common ones. Feel free to adjust this how you see fit, and then click Continue. Here we have the gradebook schemes. The default scheme given by Desire to Learn is a percentage scheme. You can keep the default scheme, or through the Schemes tab at the top, you can create more schemes. If you only have your percentage scheme right now, it's okay to click percentage, go ahead and continue through the settings, and you can always develop more schemes and apply them later. You'll learn more about schemes on the lesson about schemes. After selecting your default grade scheme, go ahead and click Continue. This is a viewing and display option. It's going to show how many decimals appear to you as the Managing View display option. We can leave this at a default for 2, but if you have a need to increase or decrease this number, feel free to do so at this time. As I click Continue, I now get to see the student display options. They also have a decimal displayed at 2. For text grade items, it has 15 characters. You can increase or decrease this if needed. And it's also displaying the final grade calculation to the users. At the top, it shows how the students will actually see their grades. Will they see the points that they've earned, the percent that they've earned, a symbol, which might be the 4.0 or the A, whichever letter grade you might have developed in a scheme, and also a color. The color can be used to show if a student is having an assignment they're struggling in and call attention to that for the student and for the instructor. After choosing what you want your students to see and view, you can click Continue and see the new summary based on your new settings. After you've completed this, select the Finish button. This completes your Setup Wizard. If you need to return to something, you can always click the Setup Wizard again to return to the beginning. Or you can select the Settings menu to alter the settings from a different perspective.